Okay. I believe we are live. Welcome to Shooting with Disabilities. Oh, hell. I loaded some bullets today and my little gun thing just fell all over. My bullet holder just fell all over the floor. I got 50 rounds of 45 ACP scattered all over the carpet. Oh, well. I'll pick them up after the meeting. after the show. Anyway, Shooting with Disabilities. This is Rick's Life as I See It. This is an hour talk show or whatever you want to podcast, whatever you wish to call it. Talking about shooting with disabilities, guns, politics, anything else that crosses our minds. I'll answer questions. If anybody has any, put them in the chat or send me an email at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or my short version, spottedrick@gmail.com. Also, this show will be available on Podbean, Stitcher, and iTunes normally within 24 hours of it ending. Also, good news so far, I've got Spreadshirt to accept my, it seems they've accepted one of my, images without the word Heinz. I blacked out the word Heinz, and they seem to have taken it this time. So there's T-shirts, sweatshirts, coffee mugs, all kinds of stuff on there with my logo on it if anybody's interested. I also have a Patreon page. I don't do much with it, to be honest with you, but I do have one. Also, give me a thumbs up, because with YouTube, all that matters. And so I need all the help I can get. Anyway, we got General Relativity, Dead Horse, Raphael, Black Cat Outdoors, Rich White, Russ. They're all coming in now. So here we go. We got David and Squib on the panel so far. How you doing, David?
Good evening, sir. How are you doing, and how is Mr. Squib doing?
I'm quite well. About to go on my lunch break, and you were absolutely right about that 300 blackout. It's just like a 1022, man.
Yeah, I told you you're going to be very happy with it. I got your little gift together and packaged up today. I just got to take it to the post office tomorrow and drop it in the mail, and it should be there.
Thank you very much.
All right, there he goes, Tactical. What we got? 30 Clipazine. We got Gun Loving Grandpa Stanley. That's a new one. Well, welcome. Okay, all right. Shooting with disabilities. Tonight's topic might, I don't know, get a bit touchy with some people and some people it won't. Basically, I mean, I don't know if I told you guys, last Thursday I was in the, not the emergency room, my urgent care place. And because my left arm had been hurting so bad, and I thought, well, maybe it's more than just arthritis or anything else. But it turns out all it is the arthritis flared up. I have it really bad in my shoulders. And, I mean, I couldn't even lift my left arm. And I'm left-handed. I shoot right-handed because of the damage I've done to my left hand and the operation that didn't come out exactly 100%. But I do everything left-handed. You know what? I write left-handed. My left hand is the first thing I use. So not being able to lift it bothered me. But anyway, it's been like this for almost over a week now. I mean, at least I can raise it a little bit now. I can get it about there without hurting. So I'm happy. So I'm almost done. But where I was saying with this is the last few days I've just had the F-its. You know, F this, F that, I don't give a damn. You know, but I know it's because I'm restricted with my movement anyway because of my hips and my back. And now I can't move my left arm. I'm thinking, God damn, life is treating me bad. But I've learned that I know just hang in there, do what the doctor tells you to do and all this kind of stuff. And there is light at the end of the tunnel. And no, it's not a train coming at you. There is light at the end of the tunnel. where I was going with this is, if you don't realize that, or you let it get you down. I mean, we are responsible gun owners. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to let it get you down to where the efforts turn to depression. Then you get further down and down. The next thing you know, you're thinking, you know what I'm saying? You become one of those 20,000 statistics, that you think all you're going to be doing is taking a permanent problem to a temporary situation. Or even worse, you could go out and do a crazy stunt mass shooting bullshit. Worst case scenario. So what I'm saying is to people that, have trouble, seek help, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I know it gets me down. I got to live with this. So I've come to terms that my life is, I'm not going to be riding my motorcycle, jumping on horses and stuff. I realize that for the rest of my life. There's limitations.
A wise man once told me, Rick, a man has got to know his limitations.
Exactly. And that's all I'm saying. So, don't let life get you down. Ask for help. And sometimes you're not, even though in your mind you might think you're still 20 years old, you're not. You know what I'm saying? When you get to our age, when you get up there. So, that's the topic I was thinking about, because, for the last couple of days, I'm thinking, F this, I ain't doing this. It even happened to me this morning. I woke up this morning and I got up, I got to take the trash man comes tomorrow. So normally what I do is, with my back and stuff, I sort of drag the trash can up the hill to the top to put it out for the trash man. And this morning I said, F it. The trash can stay there. I'll take it up tomorrow. You know what? Hopefully I get up in time and get it out there before he comes. If not, it sits there for a week. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the kind of thing. And I was just wondering if anybody else, has been like that.
Oh, Rick, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think every man, woman, and that's gone past the age of 45 into their 50s has kind of experienced it to a certain degree, not to the point where we have, and some of them have even experienced it worse. There's a lot of people out there, even though that I'm as blind as I am, are worse than me. So I always think about it that way. When I don't feel good, and I haven't felt 100%, I've been trying to fix a bathroom repair deal that you heard about, that my wall exploded. And basically it wore me down, and I started getting a little sick from it, just from my immune system taking a hit, because I was over there working, 8-9 hours straight, and then, not eating really well and skipping food and doing that kind of thing. And the next couple of days, I couldn't do shit. Every time I went to get up, something else hurt. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, can something just stop hurting for about an hour and I'll be okay? But it's like I can't even reach for a damn napkin to blow my nose and not have my back hurt.
Oh, I'm with you. I know exactly what you're saying. Oh, yeah. So it does that. And it's what you mentioned earlier. I believe that, when I'm really down, there's always somebody worse off than you, is what I have to tell myself. Even though I'm feeling that, I can't barely walk and my arm hurts and everything else, there's somebody that is worse off than I am. So I'm lucky. I'm lucky I can still move. I'm lucky I got a scooter I can ride around in. I'm lucky once I get to my truck, I can still get myself in it to drive.
Yeah.
There's people that can't even drive anymore. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh, yeah. I don't drive. I haven't driven since 2002 was when I finally had to hang it up, because I just realized that it's not worth me hurting somebody else and putting them in a worse situation than I am just for I could have a little bit of my I guess manhood about me, you know, and wanting to be able to still get around. And now I've just realized that it's safer for me to have the old lady or one of my buddies pick me up and move me to wherever I need to go, or I can walk, you know, or take a taxi, you know. There's other things.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. As responsible gun owners, we know this and we do this, and as we said again, you got to learn to live with it. It's life. Don't let it get you down to the point where you think it ain't worth it. You know, being alive.
Exactly.
You know, being able to do this. You know, I mean, I can't wait to get back out there shooting again. You know what I'm saying? But I know I'm going to get over this. I'm more likely. I mean, I was going to try shooting tomorrow, but there's rain in the forecast, so that puts that one out. Anyway,
yeah, that gives you an extra day to rest up a little bit, and
yeah.
then when it's not raining, you get out there and you'll enjoy it more because you won't hurt as bad. I always learned that from a young age, when somebody gives you lemons to make lemonade, and that little expression is very true. So's the one adapt, improvise, and overcome. And basically, life is going to constantly throw you hooks and jabs, and it's not whether or not you get back up from it. It's how many times you get back up from it and continue going in a positive direction.
That's
And
right.
as long as you can keep that and keep your mind focused on that, there's nothing the human mind and the human body can't overcome and get by with. It's just amazing. Some of these people I see come back and they're missing legs, arms, and they end up driving a car again or playing a musical instrument. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I
Oh yeah,
couldn't even do that before.
yeah. You're right. I mean, there again. I mean, our veterans. Some of them would come back with missing limbs and stuff like that. You know, I still got all mine, even though I can't hardly use them. I still got them all. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, in that aspect, I feel grateful. You know, I don't mean to sound that in a bad way, but do you understand what I'm saying? There's,
Oh, I understand completely.
so I agree. Patriot in the dark. When it takes 3 hours to drive around the block to the liquor store, that's when you got to hang it up for sure. You got
That's
anything to
when
say
you
on this
have the
squib?
liquor delivered. Tell Patriot. That's when you have it delivered. You're like, damn, forget this.
You got any input on this squib?
When things are down, and I mean they're down, like it just doesn't get any better. It's not getting any better. Every time you say it's going to get better, it just gets worse, and you're like, how much worse can it get? You start your day off with, I've got air in my lungs. You start off with the basics, and you go from there. It's kind of like if you suddenly had no money and you had to start all over again and earn back money and stuff like that. It's okay. First, let's make sure we got a place to sleep tonight. All right, let's make sure we got some food to eat. Let's make sure, and so on and so forth. And you also have to think about what your actions will do to other people. Some people can sit there and say, nobody loves me, nobody cares. That's bullcrap. You've got somebody. You've got parents, siblings, children, friends, somebody. And if you do something drastic, no matter how you do it or whatever, those people are going to be affected. You're going to leave them behind. That's selfish. You want to be that selfish SOB and let life's problems affect you to the point where you decide to do something really stupid and all you're thinking about is yourself and trying to take care of what or doing what you think will take care of it, but really you just made it worse on the people that really love you. And just because they're not up your butt 24/7 doesn't mean there aren't people out there that care. that would miss you, that it might affect them psychologically, it might hurt them, it might always make them wonder, whatever it is. So there's a lot of things to consider when you get down in a place where you're not sure you can get out of. And it's not necessarily just because you got aches and pains or you lose a limb or something like that. You could go through a divorce. You could have somebody close to you die of natural causes, and it affect you. Whatever it is, you could lose a job that is like a job of a lifetime. I mean, the list just goes on and on. All the different things that can make somebody so depressed that they would actually think about doing something awful. It takes a stronger person to pick themselves up every single day for as long as it takes, whether it takes 6 months or it takes 20 years. It takes an awful strong person to pick themselves up every single day and carry on and try to continue on with stuff, especially if you got people counting on you and all the other stuff, as opposed to a weak person who decides just to go do something drastic.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, where you started there is, as all of you know, or most of you know, that I am, or was, or is in a 12-step program. And basically, what you said, like you wake up in the morning, you're breathing, and then you go from there. Basically, you write a gratitude list, is what we used to call it. You know, as you're right, I'm breathing. I got a roof over my head. I got food in the cupboard. I said I got a truck sitting out there I can drive. I got clothes to put on. I got a computer here to sit in front of. You start listing what you have, and you realize how good your life really is. You know, so. Oh, I see. So Night Strike. I did send you an email with a link. Oh, let me put a link in here if anybody wants one.
Yeah, not to mention I mean, dying is easy. Living is a hard thing to do. And when you decide to leave, whether it's on your own terms or it's because of a disease or because of a combat situation or just a motor vehicle accident or something happens, because stuff like that happens every day. And it's easy to live, or it's easy to die, but very hard to live. And when you try to, especially if you have young children involved and there's a loss in the family, I lost my mom when I was 19. I lost my dad a couple years ago. And if you do something stupid, is what I'm getting at, is you tend to hurt a lot more people. And it basically can cause their life to come apart, depending upon how close they are to you when you lose that person. There's always, people are human, so they always figure, there was something I could have done. Or was
that survivor's guilt kind of complex. Yep.
Yeah, went through it myself. So yeah, I can understand that, and I can process that. The thing is life's very important, and it's a very big gift. And you could literally be here today and gone tomorrow.
That's right.
And we need to make sure that everybody respects the life that they were given and try to help each other out. That's what I miss about the 1950s and 60s. Your neighbors all knew you. You get sick or you have a child sick, someone's home from work, they'd watch your kid for you. They would, one of the moms would take care of them. Oh, your child's sick, you have to go to work. People used to be so willing to help. I used to go over and help my neighbor cut his grass and edge because he was older. And, I'd go over there when I was a younger guy and use his equipment and just cut his grass. And then every once in a while, he'd throw me $20. But that wasn't the reason why I did it. I did it because he was older and it took him a while to do it. You'd see him out there. He'd have to sit down and take a break and stuff. My dad one day is like, why don't you go over there and help him? So I go over there and help him, cut his grass. And this was years ago when I was a young guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Midnight Range said, "What did you walk into?" Yeah, I was just talking about myself since I hurt my shoulder last week. It's a lot better now. Is that I got down into the efforts, and I was just saying, don't let it get you down. Us being responsible gun owners, you know. Yeah, I mean, 30 Limousines got it there. We're talking about depression and stuff like that, and I know it's a touchy subject. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but it happens, you know. And it comes to the point that you've got to. Life is worth living to start with. There's nothing out there not worth living. I mean, look at the bright side. I mean, what I'm trying to get you away from is you don't want to do something stupid. Look at the bright side. I mean, we've got our guns. You know, look at look at that sort of side of it. I mean, it's just there's just so much that if you feel that bad, go seek help. That's what I would suggest. Go seek help. I mean, just to have a little case of mild depression, I don't think would disqualify you from owning guns if you went to the doctors. Or am I wrong, guys?
No,
No.
no. I think it's a state by state thing. There might be some states that are that strict. But for right now, my understanding is it's a violation of HIPAA laws. There's some sort of line that can get crossed. A counselor or doctor can report you if you say you're going to do something. I just don't know under what circumstances or how that specifically works. But for the most part, the hardest part about getting help is, say, admitting you have a problem. Whatever that problem is, you're depressed or you're angry or whatever it is, it's okay to say, all right, I've got a problem. And when you go seek help, when you go flip to the phone book or Yelp or however you look it up, right? Or you call your healthcare provider and say, hey, where's the nearest counselor in my area? Or can you give me a referral or something like that? Or you go to your family practitioner, your regular doctor for like when you're sick or something, you go, hey, can I get a referral to a counselor? When you go to that counselor on your own recognizance, right? Nobody forced you to go. There's no court order. There's no nothing. No, the spouse didn't drag you in there. A friend didn't drag you in there. You went in on your own. You're going to find that the response is a lot more positive from that counselor because you've already overcome the first hurdle of many hurdles that you've got to go through in order to get through this. And some counselors may want you to just talk once a week, once a month, whatever your insurance covers or whatever they think you need or whatever you think you need or whatever it is. Some of them may say, let's talk for a while and then let's look into medication if we feel it's necessary in the future. And then from there, that counselor can refer you to a psychiatrist who can put you on something temporarily or maybe forever. And don't be intimidated by the fact that you might have to go on some sort of medication temporarily. It's just until you get through something. If you've got some sort of condition that's going to be with you forever, and you're like, I don't want to get on this medication, switch doctors, get a second opinion. There are all kinds of freedoms we have in this country because our healthcare system isn't as screwed up as other places. It's on its way there, but it's still fairly good. And you'll find that your health insurance will cover things like visiting a counselor or going to a psychiatrist or cover, there might be a generic version of your psych meds that you get, or you have to get them in a 90-day supply instead of a monthly or whatever it is. And there are ways to afford to do this as far as the time it takes to go see somebody, as far as the money for the co-pays and the co-insurance and all the other stuff. It is totally possible. And it sure beats putting yourself in a situation where you don't want to be in, where you make a mistake because you weren't in the right frame of mind.
Yeah, absolutely. You said it pretty well there. You did. So you can speak on that subject, can you, Midnight? Well, you can join. You want a link? So hang on.
Yeah, you've got a lot of coverage in the United States that protects you with HIPAA from especially gun owners. People out there right now that are listening to this, if you're having an issue where you're feeling depressed or you're having some bad thoughts, don't feel scared because you own a firearm that something bad's going to happen to you immediately, that you seek help. The only time, and this isn't in every state, so check your state first. In Florida, we have very strong HIPAA laws. Basically, a doctor cannot ask you if you're a gun owner. If he does, you can sue them. So they stay away from the questions, which is how it should be. If you need help and you go voluntarily and you go to ask for some help, they cannot penalize you for being a gun owner unless the following happens. You make a statement saying that you plan on hurting yourself or someone else. And in that case, HIPAA requires that the counselor, psychiatrist, psychologist, or whoever you're seeing mandatory inform the police department, and they put you on what's known as a 72-hour Baker Act. Now, this doesn't mean that your guns are going. This means that they're going to put you in a treatment program inpatient, and they're going to evaluate you over 72 hours and watch you very closely and talk to you with counselors and see where you're at. And at that time, they make up a decision whether or not you are still possible threat to yourself or to other people. And if that's the case, they may continue the hold on you and prescribe medication. And if that continues on where you're in that state, you may even have to relinquish your firearms to a personal friend or family member. That's been done in the past. So don't think just because you go to get some help, your boat's sunk. It's not necessarily the case, and most of the time it isn't. If the only time that I can really see that coming back to haunt you is if you had a severe mental disorder that was undiagnosed, which is very rare, of like paranoid schizophrenia, bipolar, something that is going to cause your mood to change without proper medication. And even if you are properly medicated, some states will let you own and possess firearms. Whether or not everyone agrees with that or not, that's to each their own, but those are the basic facts. What Squib was telling you was very true. And if you need help, it's better to get it than to go without it, because once you get it, usually you find out that your problem isn't something that is like out of the ordinary. It's something that all humans go through after certain things happening to you. It could be, you lost a loved one, a family member, a friend. So basically, different things, going through problems with your health, these all can trigger naturally the response of depression, because basically you bum yourself out long enough and dopamine will stop flowing in your brain. And once that stops flowing, it throws off your chemical imbalance in your brain, and it can cause depression even worse. Alcohol, any type of pain medication of opiate levels, those are all give byproducts of depression if taken for years from a chronic illness. There's a lot of things that make it up, but the most important thing is realize that you have a problem and get a little help, and don't let it get into something out of hand, because I think of it like this. You don't want to give gun owners a bad name, and you don't want to give your family the trouble of you going through something horrible or causing something horrible in your family, because to be honest with you, it's happened in my family and it never was recovered from. My cousin took his own life, and basically his mother was never right after it. And basically the whole family wasn't right after it. So I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Patriot says, when I get depressed, always makes me feel better going to the range and shooting a lot. Yeah, I feel good after I've been shooting too, to be honest. Yeah. It's like a meditation. I mean, I used to feel that way. I used to feel a lot better when I used to go play golf by myself, out on a golf course by myself and just walking in the sunshine and stuff. I used to feel a hell of a lot better. So I even had a hole in one once. And guess what? It was one day, it was pouring down with rain. It was pouring down with rain. There was nobody on the golf course. And would you believe, not a goddamn soul saw me do it. So it doesn't count. But I know I did it. Did it with a 7-iron. 147 yards. 2 bounces, hit the pin, and dropped in the cup. I still remember it to this day.
Sure, Rick. Sure. Yeah. Night Strike says the same thing about being able to hit the bullseye.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Just
saying.
messing with you, Night Strike.
So it doesn't count if nobody sees it. See, that's the problem. Now, Dead Horse says, you have to appreciate the little things in life, like ammo. Well, he's lightening the mood up. That's what I like. So yeah, you're right. You made some good points there. So basically, the bottom line is go seek help. You might as well get it done. If you've got a problem, go get help now before you don't want it to escalate to that stage where they, start informing people that you have a problem and you might lose your guns. You don't want it to get that far. Even just talking to your local, what do they call them now? Your local doctor you have, your primary care.
General practitioner.
Even talking to them he might have some ideas that, he's not, I know he's not a psychiatrist or a therapist, but just letting somebody know you got a problem can sometimes relieve it.
Or if you're religious, talk to your pastor.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. There are people out there that you can start off with that can point you in the right direction to go to something maybe a little bit more advanced or a little bit more specific. And just understand that everybody goes through depression. Everybody goes through stress. How you deal with it is going to define what kind of person you are. You can make changes to your life. Change isn't easy. Nobody likes it, right? You can make changes to your life to either remove the stress or depression or adapt to the situation to deal with the stress or depression. And eventually that will become normal for you. This new routine you've got, whether it be exercise, eating differently, changing the people you hang out with, getting a different job, getting that divorce, getting back on the horse after a bad relationship, adopting another dog after yours dies because it got old. Whatever it is that is getting at you, you will find a way to get through it. If the job has been killing you and killing you and killing you, but it's the only job you can find, or it's the only job that pays the bills or whatever, just keep working it until you can get to a place where you can get a different job. If you've had a lot of loss, you've had one of those bad years where you've had a lot of loss over the course of the year, try to tell yourself the next year is going to be better. Make a set of goals, not too many. Don't make 15 goals or something, and don't make them unrealistic either. And then work for that goal and focus on that goal. And when you're thinking about that goal, you're not thinking about the depression of the loss that you've been dealing with, and you're also pushing through that stress that is there because you're working towards something. You're focused on something. Everybody has something they can contribute. Focus, contribute, reach that goal. Things will get better. You know, it's there. I've had my fair share of things too, and I've made some bad choices, but I've made more, I think, good choices in how I reacted, and it's a lot more that had to do with age, really, than anything else. Age and having kids at home dependent on me, and it doesn't mean I know everything about how to deal with it or my ways. It works for anybody, but um, having those guns in the house, they were never a factor. There was never a thought in my mind about doing something stupid or whatnot. But I was always concerned that somebody else would think,
Oh,
because I was going through a rough time, that I was a ticking time bomb or something. You know,
and
I
that's
never gave them a reason to. Don't give them a reason to.
yeah, but that's the unfortunate thing with some of the laws that been coming out lately, where, like you said, you never thought about the guns, but if somebody from the outside said, "Oh, he has guns," next thing you know, they got a court order and they're coming to take them. You know, that's one.
Well,
You know,
yeah, but Rick, doesn't it make you think an anti-gunner who's never shot a gun, never owned a gun, doesn't know anything about the laws, has no idea what you have to go through to buy one, the list goes on and on. All the things that we know, right, that they don't, and they just assume that if you have it, then you're bound to do something with it, something bad. Have you ever thought, thank goodness this person doesn't have it, because if they think everybody with a gun is going to lose their temper and flip out and, you know, have road rage or whatever it is, what does that say about this person, about their attitude about depression or stress or whatnot? You know, some of these antis, I just, their opinion of us just makes me wonder, what are these people really like? And thank goodness they're not armed.
yes, I was going to mention that too. Yeah, with the anti-gunners, yeah, some of them say that you know, shouldn't have a gun. Well, you may not be able to handle it, but I can. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it does make you wonder sometimes what they would be like. So it's a strange one. Oh, Dead Horse put in here. He's trying to. I can understand lightening this up a little. He goes, "If you talk to your gun and name it, does that make you crazy? Just asking for a friend." Oh, that's a good one. Okay, what else we got in the chat here? So, Midnight says society needs to change the way it deals with depression. Many times, positive interaction and mentoring and friendship is better than meds. But that's usually down on the list of fixes, unfortunately. Yeah, you're right there, too. It is. As I said, just going to talking to, your doctor, say, hey, I ain't feeling right, feeling a bit down. I got the F-its, and he might say, why? He said, your health is good and everything else, and perks you up, and, and lets you know, he said, well, there's people worse off than you are, all that, that's what helps me is I know that this is only a temporary problem with my arm here. I'll be back to my normal, self more likely by tomorrow or the next day, and things will be going along as normal. But I said, I don't let it bother. I mean, I don't let it get me down. Now, there was one time many, many years ago when I was drinking. Of course, drinking is depressing anyway. That I thought there was no. I mean, I wouldn't. No, I did not think of suicide, but I was in that hole where, luckily, I went and got help before it got that. I went and talked to my local doctor. He sent me to thing, and they put me on some meds for about 3 months. And after that, I was back. I was good to go. He said, somehow I developed an imbalance in my brain, is what he said. And also, I don't know if it's true or not. I'm not a doctor. But he said, even men, he goes, but, when a woman goes on menopause when they're a certain age, men do the same sort of thing, he said. Sometimes the hormonal imbalance changes in their body too. So I don't know if that's true or not, but hell, it worked. I was 100% better after I had the meds for about 3 months. So there we go. I just thought I'll mention that. Yeah. So, anything? Anybody got anything else to say on it? So, we got 15 minutes left, so we can lighten it up some. Anybody got any good news?
Nothing comes to mind. I was just over here looking at the YouTube side, trying to read it. Usually, when I'm on my phone, I don't check the YouTube at the same time. So now I'm distracted.
Yeah, it's all right.
How can you check YouTube with a phone?
Okay, so when you're in your Hangout, at least on mine, if you go to the screen that takes you back to your home, it stays in the Hangout. Even though your screen changes, your Hangout is still there. So then I just open the YouTube app and scroll to Rick's Life as I see it because I'm subscribed, so he's in my whatever that is notifications. And then so right now I'm watching the live chat and I'm talking right now. I'm looking at the YouTube page. But if I pull up the little I don't know what you call it, where you flip the bottom of the phone there and you can open your tabs. I could go flip up like that, hit the little tab thing. There's Hangouts. I hit Hangouts. Now I'm back over in Hangouts. I can mute. I don't know what you call this stuff. I'm not that tech savvy.
I don't know how to do it either, but I guess if he's done it, it can be done. Just play with it, David. If you drop out, you drop out.
I will tell you this. The first time I did it, I got a troll, and I was getting pissed off, and I haven't done it very much since then. I'd just soon rather not see what people are typing over in the YouTube chat. I don't care if you guys talk bad about me. It just sometimes I'd rather it just be behind my back. Seriously. Let's see. No step on snake, I think. Yeah.
Oh, Rofo said, Rick, if I ever met you, I'll give you a hug. Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I really do. What I want is a nice looking redhead to give me a hug. I'm into redheads, by the way.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
I'm into redheads. It can be natural or dyed. I don't care. I just love redheads. So there you go. It's out there. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No. Well, now what's this? No
step on snake. Don't tread on me.
Okay.
Gadsden flag.
On me. That's okay. Took me a second there. Bit slow tonight. Yeah. Did you see that that young lady who graduated college? On a graduation day, she walked through the school. Kent, was it Kent University or something? There was a no gun policy, but it's in Ohio. I think it is.
Oh, isn't Kent State the one where the National Guard opened fire on the protesters in the 60s?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, that's Ohio. Yeah.
Well, there's a no. Even though the state says you can carry on campus, but they left it up to the universities to make the decision. And that one said no. So on graduation day, in her nice dress she walked through campus carrying an A10, and on her cap she had "Come and take it." I thought it was pretty good. It went viral. It's on YouTube. So I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah. Anyway, don't forget tonight Clover is next. Wednesday night's a busy night because I think after Clover then comes Matt.
Yep.
Then can't remember who comes after that. I know somebody does. So
I think We Like Shooting Double Tap is on tonight, and I think CC Radio, Civilian Carry Radio, also does a show tonight too. I know they're not on gun channels, but I think they're on Wednesdays.
Yeah. But actually, after I sign off, I'm actually, as I mentioned before, I normally don't eat to around between 6 and 7. So on Wednesdays, I always eat after the show. I don't like rushing my food. It gives me indigestion. But so I'm gonna go through a couple of burgers on the grill. You know what I'm saying? After this, and sit down and enjoy them. So there you go. That's what I'm doing. So I don't know whether I'm going to do some French fries or not, but I'll definitely do a couple of burgers on the grill. You know, I make them myself, so they're good. 6 to 7
That
ounce.
sounds tasty.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And there's the food chat. Are you happy, Midnight Range?
Yeah. So where is Midnight? There you go. I'm trying to think. What would they be? They would be around 6, 7. Basically, I take a pound of ground beef and I just make 3 burgers. So there we go. You know what I'm saying? So I throw them on the grill. Oh man, you can't beat it. Oh, Night Strike. Have a burger from me. I definitely will. When I'm chomping down on it, I will think of you, Night Strike. I definitely will. Midnight says, I didn't start it.
Yeah, this time you didn't. Hey, that would be, you know what? If you were grilling and you had an apron on it and it said, come and take it. Huh? That would be good.
Yes.
So, there we go. So, anyway, I said I was going to try to go shooting tomorrow, but the forecast is rain, so I'm going to try for the next day. I mean, with me, I can go anytime because I don't work because I'm disabled,
Did you make those 185 grain reloads?
Not yet.
Well, that's what you could do tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I know what I got to do tonight before I put my burgers on the grill or while they're on the grill. I got to pick up all them. Were you in here when I dropped the I got 45 ACP all over the carpet.
Yeah, were those the 185s?
No, they were 230s.
Those were 230s? All right.
I had them in here, and it fell off the end of my table. So they're all over the floor now. So I got to pick them up. Oh, well, give me something to do.
Give you something to do. I love it.
Yeah. It's only me here, as I said. I mean, sometimes there's an advantage to being single, right? And living by yourself. Like,
yeah, you can do what you want, when you want, how you want.
Yeah, I got my big TV sitting here in the corner, got my recliner over there. I got my table here with my computer on it and my, my microphone and everything else. And right next to me on this side here is my reloading. This is, I got my press right here. I do it right here in the living room. Now, what woman will let you do that?
None that I know of.
Oh, absolutely. So, and I got my gun stuff behind me. Hell, I got my little 20. I love this little thing. I don't know if it's doing any good or anything, but I got my little, North American 22 Magnum here. I keep that on that's my computer firearm that I have here. I have my it's a Taurus Model 85 38 special sitting by my bed, and I got my 45 ACP right here, So, come and take them is what I say. Come and get them, I'm ready for you. So, yeah, I wish I could do a despot, but unfortunately, I live in town, and unfortunately, there's a law in this town that you can't fire a firearm within its limits. So, Rick's never seen Dead Horse says Rick's never seen my house. My woman was very forgiving of me and of my in-house build projects.
Dead Horse has a rare woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dead. That's as well as I do. That's not your normal everyday wife. Most women, they want the smell of gun cleaning products about as close to them as knockoff Louis Vuitton shoes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, like when I clean my guns, or even just clean one gun, I'll get on my recliner there, pull out my table, bring all my gun cleaning gear out, and I'll sit there, watch TV, cleaning my guns, getting oil everywhere. You know, I'm loving it.
When I got the tumbler going and it's just making that noise, that rattling noise downstairs, my wife just turns the volume up on the TV. She's learned to get used to it.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you, when I have mine going, I said, all I got here is two cats, and they've, they got used to it. They ignore it. You know, they've got used to the gun oil smell. So that's all I'm good to go. So, as I said, I don't know. I don't know if you guys were subbing to me then, or I knew you then when I first started this chat. One time we were talking about negligent discharges, and I admit I had one within the first 2 weeks of owning that 45. It was my first gun I ever had, and I had one in the house here. You know, you're not meant to shoot in the town limits. Well, it slipped out of my hand, and so I grabbed for it, and I got hold of the trigger, and it went off. The bullet went through the wall, missed my TV by about an inch, went through the wall, and you can see back then you could see the mark in the grass where it tore into the grass. Thank God that's all it did do. You know what I'm saying? Because I said I live in a town. Luckily, nobody called the police. Nobody came around. It was during the middle of the day too, and there was no neighbors home or anything. So I lucked out. But where I'm going is, oh man, when that goes off in a house and you don't have no earring protection on, I mean, those cats, my two cats, they ran somewhere, and I didn't see them for 24 hours. I know I shouldn't laugh at. I mean, must have hurt their ears terribly. But I said that's the only time I've ever done it, and I've never done it since. But I should have known better with a new gun. I should have waited till I'd done more training and stuff like that. But there you go. Luckily, nobody got hurt.
You'll notice that when you do that kind of thing, you usually only do it once, unless you're a dumbass. The one time of kind of like where you freak out, you hide the gun, then you go and look outside and see if anybody pulling up, like the cops and stuff.
I did hide the gun, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had a couple of customers tell me the exact same thing.
Oh yeah.
That, they were messing around and they took the magazine out, but didn't empty the chamber. And then they were just doing something, and the gun got loose out of their hand. They reached for it and pulled the trigger at the same time. And usually blew a big hole in their floor, like their concrete floor.
Yeah.
Or, or out of the side of their wall. But when you've got walls that are 2x4 walls with vinyl siding on one side with plywood and drywall with some insulation in between, that ain't going to slow that 45 bullet down too much.
As I said, it didn't. And luckily, when I grabbed it, it was facing downward, sort of. And when it went through the wall, it hit the grass right outside where it went through the wall. Then you could see it skid along the grass mark. So I said, thank God for that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So now nobody goes squealing to the Westerly Police Department on me.
I don't even know where that is, and I wouldn't have said that to begin with. Yeah, it's okay.
Hey, you got to prove it now, though, haven't you?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I patched the hole, so you don't even know I done it. You know.
Look, Rick, if you were going to hide in some state, Rhode Island is not the ideal one to hide in because of how small it is. There aren't a whole lot of places you can hide.
Oh yeah. So there we go.
Well, we left it on a good note. At least everybody's got a smile on their face. I guarantee it. Even if they're not chatting right now on the comment section, they're smiling.
Oh yeah, that's what I try to do. So I want to appreciate you guys for showing up. You want to plug anything or say any last minute words? Start with you, David.
I appreciate you having me on as usual, Rick, and I'm looking forward to our next chat. And to everybody that is watching out in the comments section, just go ahead and give Rick a thumbs up, please. And I will see you guys next time.
Thank you, David. Squib.
Yeah, thank you for the invite, and thanks for having a Wednesday show. It's kind of nice to have one at 7 instead of later in the night. Here's a thumbs up. There you go. And everybody have a good week.
Thank you. And I want to say thank you all for showing up. I really do appreciate it. I don't always mention you all by name, but I do try to keep my eye on the chat. But I got 2 chats running here, gun channels and YouTube, and trying to keep the show going. It's, but I want to, of course, I want to be a podcasting, internet superstar. Whether it will ever happen, I don't know. But anyway, I want to thank you all for coming. And my next show is on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, where we do it all again. So we'll see you then. Thanks a lot.